This evening, CANU destroys over 1,000 kilograms of cannabis over the weekend. CH&PA selects land on Demerara's west coast for the development of 200 low and moderate income housing units. Ministry of Home Affairs investigates reports of police officers' side hustles and whether there is a conflict of interest. In the region, at least 20 killed in Ecuador prison gang riot, and internationally, Sri Lankan cabinet resigns en masse as crisis deepens. Greetings and welcome to another edition of Channel 2 Headline News Update. I am Baby Bacchus. Thank you for joining us. Lands are currently being identified in Anna and Metamir Region 3 for the construction of 200 housing units. The initiative seeks to target low and moderate income earners as part of the government's turnkey home project being executed by the Central Housing and Planning Authority. Meanwhile, some 2,000 persons who were allocated land in Region 3 will begin the construction of their homes by the end of April 2022. This comes as infrastructure works, including roads, bridges, and culverts, near completion in Edinburgh, Anna Katerina, Cordelia Ida, Stewartville, and Metamir. Water distribution and electrical networks are also being installed. Minister of Housing and Water Colin Crowell made the announcement on Friday during a site visit to several of the new housing developments in the region. He said the aim is to provide more comprehensive and sustainable housing options for all Guyanese. Under the Turnkey Initiative, close to 1,000 homes are underway in Regions 3, 4, and 10, while another 25 are under construction in Sophia, Georgetown. The initiative, which is aimed at low and moderate income households, is part of the Inter-American Development Bank's Adequate Housing and Urban Accessibility Program. Additionally, as part of government's attempt to provide affordable housing to Guyanese, President Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali said earlier this year that the government would construct 1,000 homes using 100% local wood. On Saturday, the Customs Anti-Narcotics Unit incinerated over 1,500 kilograms of seized cannabis. Dale Jarvis was there and filed this report.
The Customs Anti-Narcotics Unit destroyed 1,526 kilograms of seized cannabis at the old Ministry of Housing burnt-out site at Hometrust Avenue on Saturday, April 2, 2022. According to the Director of CANU, James Singh, the related matters, including the arrests, have been resolved in the Magistrates Court, resulting in a destruction exercise. He said the majority of the cannabis destroyed was confiscated at several locations, including residences, airports, post offices, among others. Over the last year, Minister of Home Affairs, Rupson Ben, who was also present to witness the cannabis being destroyed, claimed drug seizures have been frequent in the previous year, with vehicle, boats, and planes being seized as well. He added that a large amount of the cannabis destroyed was intended for export. Minister Ben praised CANU and the Guyana Police Force for the ongoing efforts to eradicate illicit narcotics from the streets. Reporting for Headline News Update, Dale Jarvis.
Thanks, Dale. A 66-year-old man is now homeless after his home at Lot 55 First Alley, Wismar, Linden went up in flames on Sunday, April 3rd. According to a report from the Guyana Fire Service, they received a call around 11:45 and was alerted to a fire at the location. The structure involved was a one-flat wooden and concrete building owned by 99-year-old Marveline Brawley and occupied by 66-year-old Joel Brawley. The building and its contents were destroyed as a result of the fire. An electrical power surge allegedly caused poor electrical wiring to overheat, causing the refrigerator's thermostat to fail, and as a result, overheating the compressor, which burned nearby combustible objects. Also affected by the blaze was a two-story wooden and concrete building located next to the damaged property. The southern wall was severely damaged due to radiated heat from the fire. Recently, several persons lost their homes in multiple fires. A 65-year-old man died last week when his home caught fire after an unattended kerosene stove flared up and ignited combustible materials. The Guyana Fire Service is again reminding citizens to be cautious and to follow safety measures to prevent the occurrence of a fire. Some important measures include ensure all appliances are turned off and unplugged before leaving a room or building. Never leave children unattended or within reach of fire starters and flammable items. Never leave cooking unattended. Always keep children a safe distance from the cooking area. Desist from overloading electrical sockets. ensure the quality of wires is of the approved and recommended standard when wiring homes or businesses. The Guyana Fire Service is recommending the installation of smoke detectors and the use of fire extinguishers in homes and businesses so that persons can be prepared and alerted in the event of a fire. Stick around after the break. Ministry of Home Affairs to evaluate police officers' side hustles, and 4 minors were taken to the hospital after being stung by bees.
Maison Francois is the chocolate paradise of Guyana. From the moment you enter our store, you are welcomed by the sweet aroma of Belgian chocolate, pastries, and other artisanal treats handmade by our European-trained chef. Our convenient location at the City Mall is the perfect place to take that special someone or to take home a little sweetness. So treat yourself with a taste of Paris in the heart of Georgetown, only at Maison Francois.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny?
I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
In a world filled with copycats and ever-changing trends, make your property stand out with unique concrete moldings. Different, exquisite designs carefully handcrafted to suit your style, with various customizable and antique and modern designs made at our factory. Antique and Modern Molding Establishment. We make your property outstanding. We make and install all moldings anywhere in Guyana.
The best quality, affordable prices, on-the-spot quotes, and no hidden fees.
Call us or WhatsApp us at 684-5050 or email us at modernestab@gmail.com. Antique and Modern Molding Establishment, made to stand out.
Furnishing your home or office has never been easier. Here at Kissoon's, our inventory of locally made and imported furniture, offered at amazing prices, will leave you wanting more. From vinyl, floor rugs and carpets, bedroom, dining and living room sets, mattresses, pillows, office desk, chairs and filing cabinets, outdoor benches and tables. We have a piece of furniture for every room imaginable in your home or office. Check out our flagship store at Industrial Site Rijnveld or one of our branches in New Amsterdam, Port Morant, Riverton and Camp Street. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 50 years.
When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 4-6 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brickdam and White Castle Fish Shop, be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
Sooner or later you will have another power failure. Are you prepared for the next blackout? Some essential equipment such as security cameras, lights, internet, gate motors, and water pumps may stop working. How can you prevent the next blackout? InverterTech has an affordable solution for you. A strong UPS system which uses the latest inverter and solar battery technology to prevent blackout. We smartly calculate your average power demand so you don't spend more than you need to. Call 223-2233 for more information.
Welcome back. The Ministry of Home Affairs is looking into accusations of law enforcement officers who have a side hustle that may interfere with their current duties. Esther Sobers has more.
Police side hustle could be a thing of the past, with the Minister of Home Affairs planning to investigate officers who operate businesses that are not part of their job description. This was announced recently by Home Affairs Minister Ruth Ben, who noted that a rule prohibits the officers in the force from having second jobs. During a telephone interview with Headline News, Minister Ben spoke about these practices, which he explained could lead to corruption.
We are aware that some police persons have businesses and the regulations prohibit it.
Oh.
They have other economic activities. They may be things they're pursuing not directly or with relatives or their wives, but there are also we keep hearing of issues where police persons are actual owners of businesses.
True.
So we have to have a review with the new command architecture that is in place to fashion a response to it. But the idea is that it deflects and diverts from the purpose for which they have been employed in the police force. It's generally a conflict of interest, and it could lead to corrupt practices or interference with enforcement.
There have been reports of police officers owning multiple minibuses, sports bar, and other jobs that are not permitted in the force. Ranks of the Guyana Police Force who have taken on a second job or have engaged in other businesses while under the employ of the government will now be investigated by the Home Affairs Ministry. Chapter 1601 stipulates that, quote, a member of the force may be discharged at any time if, without the consent of the commissioner, he carried on any business or trade or holds any other office or employment for hire or gain. For Channel 2 Headline News, Esther Sobers.
Thanks, Esther. 4 children are presently hospitalized following an Africanized bee invasion of their home at number 67 Village, Upper Currentine, Berbice on Sunday. Reports said at around 7 a.m., the children ages 1, 2, 5, and 11 were at home with their mother, Sunita Charan, getting ready for church when the bees swarmed their home and attacked them. One of the children ran out of the house screaming and alerted the neighbors. The neighbors made improvised smoke devices to rid the bees. However, it took almost 20 minutes to remove the children from the home to seek medical attention. The children and their mothers were treated at the Skeldon Public Hospital and sent away, but later on Sunday, the children began to feel worse and continued to vomit. As a result, they were rushed back to the hospital Sunday night where they remain in stable conditions. Nevertheless, anyone interested in assisting the family should call 338-1245. Don't go away after the break. At least 20 killed in Ecuador prison gang riot, and Nigerian manufacturers warn of imminent job cuts as diesel prices soar. But before that, here's the bridge retraction schedule.
Furnishing your home or office has never been easier. Here at Kissoon's, our inventory of locally made and imported furniture, offered at amazing prices, will leave you wanting more. From vinyl, floor rugs and carpets, bedroom, dining and living room sets, mattresses, pillows, office desk, chairs and filing cabinets, outdoor benches and tables. We have a piece of furniture for every room imaginable in your home or office. Check out our flagship store at Industrial Site Rijnveld or one of our branches in New Amsterdam, Port Morant, Riverton and Camp Street. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 50 years.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny? I want money for borrow for do a surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Maison Francois is the chocolate paradise of Guyana. From the moment you enter our store, you are welcomed by the sweet aroma of Belgian chocolate, pastries, and other artisanal treats handmade by our European-trained chef. Our convenient location at the City Mall is the perfect place to take that special someone or to take home a little sweetness. So treat yourself with a taste of Paris in the heart of Georgetown, only at Maison Francois.
Sooner or later you will have another power failure. Are you prepared for the next blackout? Some essential equipment such as security cameras, lights, internet, gate motors, and water pumps may stop working. How can you prevent the next blackout? InverterTech has an affordable solution for you. A strong UPS system which uses the latest inverter and solar battery technology to prevent blackout. We smartly calculate your average power demand so you don't spend more than you need to. Call 223-2233 for more information.
In a world filled with copycats and ever-changing trends, make your property stand out with unique concrete moldings. Different, exquisite designs carefully handcrafted to suit your style, with various customizable and antique and modern designs made at our factory. Antique and modern molding establishment. We make your property outstanding. We make and install all moldings anywhere in Guyana.
The best quality, affordable prices, on-the-spot quotes, and no hidden fees.
Call us or WhatsApp us at 684-5050 or email us at modernestab@gmail.com. Antique and modern molding establishment, made to stand out.
When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 4-6 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brick Dam and White Castle Fish Shop. Be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
Welcome back. Now we take a look at news in the region and around the world. At least 20 people have been killed in a prison riot in southern Ecuador. For hours, hundreds of police officers struggle to contain the violence. Government officials are calling for tighter penalties. Al Jazeera's Katia Lopez-Hodayan reports.
On the roof of this maximum security prison wing, inmates in Cuenca, Ecuador call out for help. Inside, they say it's too dangerous. Some were evacuated, but most were trapped by prison riots.
We've been waiting here for more than 20 hours. I've been standing here, listening to the inmates cry out for help.
More than 800 officers responded, but they struggled to stop the violence. The Interior Minister says tougher laws are needed.
Prisons, unfortunately, have become a permanent threat. It's been like this for some time, but today we want to and we will take necessary action.
Drug wars in Ecuador have led to a surge in gangs fighting over the lucrative drug trade. The competition often extends into prisons. More than 300 inmates were killed last year.
We need help. There are people who are being killed. It's wrong.
The country's 65 prisons have a capacity for 30,000 people, but some government officials are concerned overcrowding could further magnify the tension and violence. Katia Lopez-Hodayan, Al Jazeera.
Internationally, Nigeria is experiencing nationwide power outages caused by poor electricity generation and distribution. Businesses and homes are relying on generators, but the rising cost of diesel is adding to the problem. Al Jazeera's Ahmad Idris reports.
Workers at this cosmetics factory packaged the day's production under hot conditions. The air conditioners were switched off to save fuel consumption by the factory's 4 generators. Those who run the company say they can't remember the last time the production line was operated with power supply from the national grid.
We were producing 24 hours production. We have cut it down to, instead of 3 shifts, we now have 2 to save on the cost of of diesel because of generating the electricity to propel our equipment. How far we can keep absorbing the increase, because we've not been able to increase the prices of our product.
Factories like this are not only worried about how expensive diesel has become. Finding enough to power the generators is also a challenge. Despite having 4 refineries, Nigeria, Africa's biggest oil producer, doesn't refine its crude. Instead, it imports. And the recent oil price increase because of the conflict in Ukraine could only mean one thing. Diesel and other refined products have become more expensive. Nigeria's electricity grid has failed twice this month. Managers are blaming gas shortages and low water levels in the country's hydroelectric dams. But distribution companies are unable to deliver more than 60% of electricity normally generated for homes and factories. Manufacturers aren't sure how long they will keep their machines running.
It has endangered our already lean working capital, which means that we are going to have to divert virtually all of our working capital to provide this one item. Secondly, it will reduce the use of the installed capacity that we have, because we can no longer run the number of shifts that we run. It will lead to the increase in the cost of our products.
Those fears are now real. Prices of industrial goods in the market have increased. Nigeria's current electricity supply is only 4,000 megawatts for a population of more than 200 million people. As the electricity supply worsens, thousands of industries have stopped working, throwing millions out of their jobs. Ahmed Idris, Al Jazeera, Lagos, Nigeria.
And finally, Sri Lanka's cabinet members have resigned en masse from their positions, the education minister said, as anti-government protests escalated despite curfews. Al Jazeera's Andrew Chappell reports.
Across the island, a sudden groundswell of opposition to the Rajapaksa family and what's widely seen as a man-made crisis. Protesters defied a government curfew on Sunday, prompting Sri Lanka's entire cabinet to resign. All 26 members except for the president Gotabaya Rajapaksa and his brother, the former president, now Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa. After declaring a 36-hour curfew, the government cut off social media to try and prevent these demonstrations. In a suburb of Kandy, protesters' grievances were met with tear gas and water cannon. University students, professionals, mothers and children all came out despite government orders.
We would like to tell the government that whatever happened today, they can't stop tens of thousands of people joining the struggle. It is a joke if the government thinks it can stop this people's protest by using barriers, tear gas, or shooting.
The economy is in tatters. It's the worst economic crisis in decades. People are angry at the skyrocketing cost of living, increasing shortage of essential goods, and rolling blackouts. The government is saddled with huge debts and dwindling reserves that now limit its ability to bring in basic supplies. Critics say mismanagement, bad planning, and corruption has aggravated the situation.
We are stripped off of our basic rights, our right to fuel, our right to energy. We don't have power for almost 16 hours a day now. Gas now, petrol now.
There's no gas, there's no petrol, there is nothing to eat, there is no medicine. What can we do? If this continues, we will have to jump into the sea.
With frustrations boiling over and protesters attempting to storm his home, President Rajapaksa assumed emergency powers and briefly blocked access to WhatsApp and other messaging services to stem the protests. It backfired. Opposition figures call the measures illegal.
Sri Lanka is not a dictatorship. This is a democracy, and we will fight for the rights of the people, and we will fight to protect democracy in our motherland.
What's more, the protests appear to be drawing people from across ethnic and religious lines, uniting to challenge the status quo, namely the ruling family in charge. Andrew Chappell, Al Jazeera.
And that is it for today's regional and international news. Here now is your 3-day weather forecast. That is all for this edition of Channel 2 Headline News Updates. Tune in on Tuesday at 7 p.m. for another episode. Be sure to subscribe, like, and follow us on Facebook and YouTube. Until then, please take care of yourself and each other.